The insurance adjuster calls you the day after your crash, sounds polite, asks a few routine questions, and suddenly you're not sure what you just agreed to. You hang up feeling uneasy, wondering if you said too much or hurt your case without even realizing it. I'm Brett Harrison. I've represented car accident victims across New York for years, and one wrong sentence on the first call can cost you thousands in your claim. This video walks you through exactly what to say, what to avoid, and how to keep control of the conversation so you protect your case from the start and don't lose money just because you picked up the phone. 1. Why talking to an insurance adjuster matters. If you've been in a car accident in New York, one of the first phone calls you'll get, sometimes within 24 hours, is from an insurance adjuster. Now, that person might sound friendly. They might even tell you they're just trying to get your side of the story so they can process the claim. But make no mistake, they work for the insurance company, not for you. And their job is to save the company money. That's why how you talk to the insurance adjuster matters. Every word you say could be used to deny your claim, reduce your settlement, or even shift blame onto you. And in New York, a comparative negligence state, that matters a lot. Number 2, should I even talk to the adjuster? Let's start with the basic question most people have. Should you even talk to the adjuster? The answer is yes, but very carefully. In most cases, if it's the other driver's insurance company calling you, you are under no legal obligation to speak with them. And if it's your own insurer, your policy may actually require you to cooperate. But cooperation doesn't mean giving a full recorded statement right away. It means providing necessary information without putting your rights at risk. The safest move, take the call, get their name, and let them know you'll call back once you've had a chance to review everything. That buys you time and keeps you from saying something you might regret. Number 3, what information should I share? If you speak to an adjuster, keep it simple. You can confirm basic facts, your name, the date of the accident, the vehicles involved, the general location, but that's it. Avoid talking about how the accident happened, who you think was at fault, or how badly you were injured. Why? Because statements like, I didn't see them coming, or I'm feeling okay, can also and will be used against you. Those offhand remarks may seem harmless now, but they can be twisted later to weaken your case. Instead, if they press you for details, it's okay to say, I'm still gathering information, or I'm not ready to discuss that at this point. That's not being evasive, that's being smart. Number 4, should I give a recorded statement? You're going to get asked for a recorded statement. That's the standard. But here's the key. You are not required to give one to the other driver's insurance company. If it's your own insurance company, they may require a statement under the terms of your policy. But even then, you have the right to schedule that conversation at a later time, ideally with legal guidance. Here's why this matters. Once it's recorded, it's set in stone. Even if your memory later improves or your injuries get worse, the adjuster can and will go back to what you said in that recording to argue that you're exaggerating or inconsistent. Unless you're extremely experienced with legal matters, this is not something you want to handle alone. 5, what if the adjuster pressures me to settle early? This happens all the time. You're hurt, you're missing work, your car's in the shop, and then the insurance company dangles a check in front of you. They'll call it a quick resolution. What they're really hoping for is that you accept a lowball settlement before you understand the true value of your claim. Under New York law, once you accept the settlement and sign a release, your case is closed. That's it. Even if you later discover you need surgery or miss more work than expected, you can't go back for more. So, if they offer you a check early on, be careful. Ask yourself, do I know the full extent of my injuries? Have I finished treatment? Have I considered lost wages, pain and suffering, future care? If the answer to any of those is no, it's too soon. 6, what's the adjuster really looking for? Adjusters are trained to ask questions that sound harmless, but are designed to gather information that helps them deny or minimize your claim. For example, they may ask, were you distracted at the time of the accident? Were Were you wearing your seatbelt? How fast were you going? These aren't just idle questions. In New York, we follow a rule called pure comparative fault. That simply means your compensation can be reduced by whatever percentage of blame the adjuster pins on you. So, if you say, I looked down at my GPS for a second, or I think I was going a few miles over the speed limit, they'll use that to argue you were partly at fault and cut your settlement accordingly. 7. Can I talk about my injuries? Short answer, not yet. After a crash, it's common for symptoms to take time to show up. Adrenaline, mass pain. You might feel okay the next day and assume you've dodged a bullet, only to wake up a week later with serious back pain or a herniated disc. If you tell the adjuster you're fine or just a little sore, that will be used as proof that your injuries aren't serious, even if you later have an MRI that shows otherwise. That's why it's smart to hold off on discussing injuries until you've had a full medical evaluation. In fact, your medical records will speak for you, and they're a lot harder to argue with than a phone call taken out of context. Now, number 8, what if they ask me to sign something? Never sign anything without reading it fully, and preferably not without legal guidance. Sometimes adjusters will send you a medical release form. That may sound harmless, but it often gives them access to all of your medical history, not just the accident-related treatment. Once they have that, they may go digging for pre-existing conditions and argue that your current pain is from something old, not the crash. Other times, they'll send a settlement and release form. It might come with a check attached. It might even seem like a fair number at first glance. But remember, once you sign that form, you waive your right to ever pursue more compensation, even if new complications arise later. Number 9, are there legal protections for me in New York? Absolutely. New York has some strong consumer protections, including rules that prohibit insurance companies from acting in bad faith. If an insurer delays your claim without cause, pressures you unfairly, or makes misleading statements, they could be violating those laws. For example, under New York Insurance Regulation 64, insurance must promptly investigate claims and communicate clearly. If you feel like you're being pushed around or ignored, that's worth paying attention to. Also, in cases involving serious injuries, New York's no-fault system doesn't bar you from pursuing additional compensation through a personal injury claim. But again, the way you handle these early adjuster calls can influence whether you get that chance. 10. When is the right time to get help? Not every accident needs a lawyer, but if you've got serious injuries, missed work, or you're getting pressure from the insurance company, having someone in your corner can make a huge difference. Legal help doesn't mean launching a lawsuit. It means protecting your rights, avoiding costly mistakes, and making sure you understand your options before signing anything. You don't need to go through this process blindly. There's no shame in asking questions and no rush to say yes to the first offer that comes your way. Final thoughts. Talking to an insurance adjuster after a car accident in New York might seem like a routine part of the process, but it can shape the entire outcome of your claim. Being cautious isn't being difficult. It's being smart. You have the right to understand what's going on, to take your time, and to make decisions that protect your health, your finances, and your future. We just covered the right way to talk to an insurance adjuster after a car accident. But did you know that New York law is actually designed to offer protection to injury victims unless you're making one of these 5 mistakes? Check out the next video where I cover the 5 biggest mistakes that people make after a car accident in New York.